Campers, it's me, Ari Lehman, the first Jason Voorhees. From Friday the 13th, I'm here with AJ, and he's got the juiciest slice ready for you. It's dripping with blood. Jason never dies.
When a horror film baddie, heavy, or rogue finally gets their just due, what factors make for a particularly stunning, impressive, or momentous destruction, even annihilation? Let's explore. If anything about this engages your interest, please like, subscribe, and share.
Yes, yes.
Without further preamble, it's a splendid day to manufacture cocaine on the river. Did something happen? Fast like a lunging alligator, the ambush went down with such efficiency, it's hard to tell anything even occurred.
Knock it off, you guys. Gonzalez wants 100 pounds today.
Our man, who operates with predatory finesse, moves into position. Making cocaine is lucrative work if you can find it, but there are some huge drawbacks and downsides. With everyone in position, the attack on the platform is underway. It soon becomes apparent the raiders and ravagers are in league with river monsters, always happy to scavenge an easy meal. Under the silent but deadly Quecho's leadership, it's a total slaughter. With such a fierce, formidable, and fearsome assassin leading the assault, is it any wonder it was a total decimation? Their rivals conquered without fuss? A total blowout? With the arrival of the man in charge, Colonel Brian Horn, sort of a drug lord cum cult leader, Quecho signals their complete success. Evidently, the best way to deal with rivals is to massacre the whole lot and seize their operation. With his work never done, and always ready to tap into his primal side, Quecho is on the hunt. With reflexes like a hungry predator, he's designed to deal death. And will use whatever means are necessary to finish the job. Even if that includes a make-sure shot with his machete, as a parting gift to his victim. Pun fully intended. With this particular cartel's one sentry eliminated, Quecho prepares to signal his rabble of minions. A couple of bird calls, and the slaughter is on. Another example of absolute savagery. In the midst of the attack, a dedicated reporter named Fran and her loyal cameraman Mark arrive nearby.
What's wrong? Oh, Jesus Christ!
And are immediately clued into the incredible danger chasing this story. One of Drug Runner's cartels in murder has put them, subject to death and mayhem from all sides.
Go! Go! Stay away from the windows!
In the morning, they report on the aftermath, a little shell-shocked by the overwhelming brutality.
Looking for signs of life. All we found so far, however, are corpses.
They soon move on, which brings them to the river, where they have to be particularly mindful of the wildlife. A man who acts in the time of a flicker, Quecho springs as if out of nowhere. Mark's reflexes are fast too, and he shows that he's good at slinging more than a camera. This leads to the kind of tussle where the outcome is far from decided. Fran, perhaps worried the best case has both perished, and she's alone in the jungle, seems a little frazzled. Woohoo! Mark made it! But what of the mysterious and nefarious henchman?
Are you alright? Is he dead?
I think where did he go would be a better question. Mark's answer shows that he's an idealist. The glass is half full type.
God, I hope so.
Done in by a city slicker in a river he's at one with as the alligators? Yeah, I'm sure he's definitely dead. They can wrap everything up with a neat little bow, nor a sacrificial beheading. And then fly out of there like heroes riding off into the sunset. The jungle, and that murky river, far behind.
Hey, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go back.
Quecho has other plans for these two. That clearly involves poking, stabbing, and impalement. You know, your general catalog of invasive prodding and probing. Pushed beyond reason, Fran is over it, and won't take another instant of disrespect without making her dissatisfaction known. Talk about a facial. That's about the biggest money shot you'll ever see, outside of a whole different kind of movie. Blinding her adversary buys her a crucial few seconds to arm herself and prepare to shoot. A proficient killer. Looking down the barrel of a gun doesn't frighten Quecho one bit. Sure, her nerve will break first. That proves a major miscalculation, as she gives him a gutful of lead. At least his last meal was hot. For a guy so good at navigating the river and taking out prey at will. The second that he was in a modern apparatus, he was so completely out of his element, he forgot that fired bullets are faster than the swing of a machete. With Quecho no longer a threat, Fran begins the long process of compartmentalizing away this whole excursion.
Is he dead?
Without another jump scare in the cards, it would seem so.
It's gonna be alright.
Is it though? And what's up with Quecho not popping up one more time? Come on!
I don't know what to say. Life's a bitch, man.
What makes Quecho a compelling bad guy? Besides a sinister appearance down to how he walked, a proclivity for dealing out death, and a lay-in-wait killer's calm, he brought an aura that bespoke reptilian cunning and monstrous intent, displaying a primitive form of primacy that made him scary, in that he's so unpredictable, you never know when he might bite sort of way. Yet he was also controlled chaos, able to coordinate and carry out a plan with disturbing craftiness and brutality. Every ambush he oversaw went off with few hitches. The alligators always ate well when he was around, which was appropriate, since they were his brethren, he their human equivalent. I first saw this film as a teenager, and I was always under the impression that one of the cartels, with the use of a native tribe, had been taken over and turned into a cult by the colonel.
Right on. It's quite a story.
So I assumed Quecho was a loyal cult member, doing the bidding of a leader he in some way revered, and that's what dictated all his actions, something more in line with this way of thinking.
I don't question his word. Whatever he asks of me, I'll do.
Lo and behold, Michael Berryman told me Quecho was a hired gun, a mercenary. This entirely rewrote how I view the character, because if he's not a follower, and instead someone doing it for pay, that makes a lot of his actions throughout the film very personal. He seemed to revel in his villainy, the way people who feel they have spiritual license do. Without divine sanctioning, that kind of enthusiasm typically arises from psychopathy. When malefic deeds are conducted to gain the favor of a venerated leader, such atrocious behavior can begin from outside somebody. But in this case, it was all Quecho, meaning to his core, he was one cruel dude. At the end, with his benefactor dead, he could have escaped. I mean, if the guy signing the checks has been decapitated, that usually means it's a good time to clear out.
Oh, Lord.
So nothing made it so he had to hang out. When I was under the misimpression he was a cult member, it made perfect sense that he would want to seek revenge on Fran and Mark for their part in events. But if he was only a hired gun, that means him showing up at the end was purely personal. The way he posed demonstrated that he was certain he could frighten them into compliance, perhaps into outright paralysis, because he thought he was the one in control, able to utilize terror to force an immediate hold. We all got to see how that backfired on him. Never test a frayed woman is a good lesson. Making it personal to him, and not just revenge for forcing his exalted leader's hand, made it more fun, and his character even creepier, that he would pursue them right onto the plane like that.
Hey, you know what I'm gonna go back.
I would say Quecho is far scarier than Michael Berryman's most famous character.
What are your defensive capabilities at this time? They'll just sit back.
Pluto had issues, clearly. Probably a bit of an inferiority complex due to his family's treatment of him.
Kiwi, you wait till you get to be a man.
Quecho, on the other hand, had no such hang-ups, and was very capable. It almost seems like he was raised in a den of alligators, because in the wilds, he was an elite-level hunter, and only faltered when he let emotion get in the way. Earlier, when he ambushed Faye in the river, and the surprise attack proved too difficult to complete, he had the good sense to fall back. That showed wisdom. Calculated retreat. Vanishing without a trace can be a powerful tool. In this film, it lulled the main characters into a false sense of security, setting up the big scare at the end. Such quick-witted decision-making, and the way he was able to attack and kill so swiftly and stealthily, were sure indicators that he was a very experienced killer, making him, between his prowess and shades of sadism, quite the frightening boogeyman. Honestly, a character that can leap up out of a river and snatch you so efficiently, others around might not even notice, is a terrifying concept. It made it seem like he could appear anywhere, so he had all the mojo of the best slasher villains.
Hey, We need another one.
Maybe he blamed Fran and Mark for costing him a good job, with a lot of growth potential. If so, the rage only brought him something of a humiliating death, covered in fire extinguisher chemicals, in this case, likely chilling halon, putting him at a major disadvantage, since besides being momentarily blinded, that wouldn't be comfortable on bare skin. A man with a cold detachment, he shouldn't have let himself get so heated. He needed his flame extinguished. In the end, Quecho was hoisted by his own petard, overly reliant on his ability to elicit shock to manufacture scared compliance, and for his trouble, was put down like a gator that's gotten too rambunctious around the tourists. Well, I've about reached the end of the rope, so I won't leave you dangling. Thanks for humoring my ramblings. Please share any refutations, opinions, accusations, japes, or other ideas in the comments below. And please join me for whatever I'm up to next time. Bye now!
Bye, creepy man! Keep it creepy!
He's a weird guy.
Goodbye. Have a nice day.
That's the juiciest slice. Yeah, not.